fact that here in Liverpool the weather is absolutely disgustingly awful and the rest of the country is bathing in sunshine.
Oh, it's not disgustingly awful. I know it is cloudy. It's because we had the sun dancers on the map yesterday. It really is a disappointment, Judy. I looked at a satellite picture about half an hour ago, and it is the western side of Britain that's lingering under cloud. The rest of Britain has got a lot of sun. But there again, being in Liverpool, we're not getting sunburn, so it's better. Instead of getting sun cancer. Right, over the north of Scotland, a lot of cloud. It is producing some light rain. Most of this rain down the western side, and it is going to linger. I suppose in the east there could be some brightness in Scotland, but temperature's not too bad. About 14 or 15 Celsius over Scotland. Not brewing at all. Right. Into Northern Ireland. Again, this band of cloud extends over here. You're stuck with it this afternoon. It's producing bits of rain here and there. There again, we go into Southern Ireland on the western side. It's nice sunshine. So look at the draw, it's the luck of the draw. Right, into loads of jellyfish down here. Right, into northern England. Really, the Pennines are the barrier. Down the western side, it's cloudy. It is high cloud. They're saying that over Cumbria, it's producing bits of rain at the moment. Once we come down the eastern side, an awful lot better. And this is where the temperatures rise. So put the cream on, be careful. In Wales, again, this band of cloud runs straight down here for Prince Charles opening the Severn Bridge today, or the new Severn Bridge. He's got cloud. This extends all the way down through Wales. This is basically a dry situation, though. Once we come to the Midlands, spreading over to East Anglia and the South East, absolutely brilliant. This is where the temperatures are high. Be careful of the sun at this time of day. Try and enjoy it by keeping in the shade. When we move down to the southwest, we've got the cloud. As of tomorrow, it looks like it's going to be cloud in the west again. Bye-bye.
Oh, well, we don't have to worry about sunburn tomorrow then, Fred.
Thank you, Raj. Thank you for all your calls. And now we're going to publicly blame Fred for the fact that here in Liverpool...
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another Fowl Original with me, Fowl Original, watching the original OG of the weather map of the past day. Hello there, Brian. How you doing? Original OG, Mr. Fred Talbot. Yeah, keeping it real, keeping it fresh, keeping it funky, keeping it not wet. This morning didn't get wet before, but our top story today, this morning weather map mishap on the 30th anniversary show. So, for those of you that don't know, there's a show over here in the UK in the daytime called This Morning. Think of it as Fox and Friends, but worse. It's really, really fun, and as you can see, yeah, like I'm still playing this over here, as you can see. There used to be a segment not that long ago, in my childhood times, when the guy called Fred Talbot would, as you can see, look, I'm watching. He jumped across, yeah. Everyone was happy. Happy days. Now, today, however, they tried to recreate the magic, and doesn't really work. Can't really recreate the magic for more specific reasons than you would think. But let's take you to that story, because that is our top story today. Other things have happened, obviously, today, but this is our top story here on Fowl Originals Newsround. All the news that is hilarious for you to see right now. This morning at 30, Alison Hammond dunks sailor in weather map mishap. Now, as you can see, there is a slight difference between the last person, Mr. Fred Talbot, and this lady. There's a lot of extra mass on this lady. As you can see, Alison Hammond. Okay, we take it back. Crying laughter emoji, Alison Hammond. Let's see what they're crying laughter emojiing about. So, let's get this open. 1 million views.
Right, go! Oh my gosh, are you all right?
Straight away, look. Let's just start at that. Like a bull in a china shop.
Get ready, go. All right, go!
Knocks
It's going to be patchy rain over there. Get ready, go.
One sec.
All right.
Okay, so it's this guy here, as you can see, he's patient zero for this. Yeah, she kind of gets along. It's a very small map, yeah, and you can see that there's and then look, let's do this again. You can see Philip Schofield is shocked and bemused, but that's what they wanted. Look at him, straight in the water, like a rugby tackle straight there. Let's just take it back. We'll take it in slow motion, so you can see her. Look, it comes down. Oh. Having a little step. Oh no, lost it there, lost it right there. And look at him, look at his face. You can see it, like, as she's coming up, he's like, oh yeah. Oh no, this seaman wasn't meant to be tossed offside. Oh, he wasn't meant to be tossed overboard. He wasn't meant to be tossed off the side. Look, and she tries to help him, but there's no way. Look, she grabs his leg, but she's going down that way. She takes him out. Let's continue. And look at those. You can see the splash. Look, they got another angle. And she's just like, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? What am I going to do? And he's there splashing about. And they are having a laughter time. 1 million viewers.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Well, it is going to be a little bit wet in Northern Ireland, as you can see. It's very wet in Northern Ireland.
Like a weather girl, it's raining men and they will all be wet. You got to get yourself wet, girls.
I'm so sorry, babes. Are you all right? Get a towel. Get a towel. Oh my God, I'm so embarrassed. I'm all flustered.
As you can see, though, they have made the like the distance between the two aisles a little bit less, so she doesn't have to jump it. So they did think that through.
I've got to carry on with the weather because obviously this is very, very important. Basically, it's going to be dry, a little bit patchy wet, and back to you in the studio.
Just bravos all round. Bravos, like I love it. I love it when stuff like that happens. Like that looked like it was pretty rehearsed. Yeah, they needed to get this video out, even if it wasn't rehearsed. It's hilarious. Yeah, feels pretty rehearsed. Feels like they wanted this to be the viral video because otherwise they would have let Alison fall in, but they wouldn't have done that to her because that would have been a fatal viral video. But yeah, I think it's hilarious. But let's have a look and see what the BBC thinks. What has the internet thought of this thing? ITV's This Morning brought its fleeting weather map back to Liverpool's Albert Dock for its 30th anniversary, but the segment didn't go entirely to plan. Alison Hammond was a stand-in weather host, as you can see, on Wednesday's programme, but she accidentally pushed a man dressed as a sailor off the map and into the dock. Host Philip and Holly could barely contain themselves after the mishap. It's going to be a little bit wet in Northern Ireland, as you can see. Alison is from Birmingham, joked. Hammond had the job of navigating the weather map with the aid of 2 male models in sailors' hats, who were topless, apart from a pair of braces. Hello. They had the task of holding onto the presenter as she jumped across the Irish Sea, but she pushed one of them square in the chest, causing him to lose his balance and fall into the water. Back in the studio, Philip Schofield and Holly Willoughby looked stunned at what had just unfolded, with Philip suggesting, "Put your cape round him." Hammond apologised profusely as he hauled himself back into the map as she duly wrapped him up in her multicoloured cape. The map was made famous by Fred Talbot, who did the weather between 1988 and 2001, but went on to be jailed for indecently assaulting schoolboys. So that's why I was kind of surprised to see this thing anywhere, and obviously that's why they didn't get Fred Talbot back to do it. He wasn't mentioned on the anniversary. Pretty smart. Some viewers were unhappy that it had been brought back at all, given its association with Talbot. Joni130 #NHS Love says, "Don't think at This Morning should have brought back the weather map. Disrespectful to the victims of Fred Talbot." And Shah, otherwise known as Shazza Stokes, sent at 10:39 in the morning. So obviously working very hard. They're there at work, not watching This Morning. "I'm sorry, but that map reminds me of the awful Fred Talbot and what he did. Blow it up, please." Shazza there with the opinion that if you blow something up, it will go away. Very similar ideology to potentially people that she probably hates. I'm making an assumption there. I'm saying that she voted Leave. But anyway, moving on to that's this morning's weather map mishap on the 30th anniversary. Our top story for tonight. But if you liked my top story and you liked the way it was presented and you liked the way that it was all in there and stuff, well, I got another top story for you right now. I've been doing this all evening. It's what I like to call Fowl Original Shill Time. So, if you would like to help support the channel, you can go to fowloriginal.com. If you go to fowloriginal.com, you will see, as I'm coining this phrase, my big old bird face, and then you can nip down to support the channel. If you click support the channel, it will take you to become a Patreon. I'll go to Fowl Original Wrestling, donate. I've got some script work and stuff I want to do this weekend, so I'm not going to promise the Patreon's going to be fixed by then. But you can go to the donate button. If you click the donate button, it will take you to a security prompt because I've been clicking this all evening. Just go through the captcha. I am not a robot, and then You could give me $5, for example, make this a monthly donation to help support my content on a monthly basis to help produce the plethora of content that I do for you. Fowl Originals Weekly Wrestling Recap, which we just had 8 o'clock to 9 o'clock over on the other YouTube channel, Fowl Original Wrestling. Also live streamed this Saturday for Fowl Originals watch along with the World WWE Super Showdown starting at about 8 a.m. over on YouTube Fowl Original Wrestling, and also obviously Newsround every Monday to Thursday, 10:30 p.m. till late-ish, depending on how the show goes. But all of those things are supported if you go to fowloriginal.com, and it's really helpful to me. You can see all my other stuff. I've got all my Instagram things, everything that's been posted that we've been doing, and it's awesome for all of you folks to turn up and enjoy the show, hopefully. So taking us on to tonight's other big story, because that was that story. Yeah, this morning weather map mishap on 30th anniversary. That's one of those things that I like to call a distraction story, because it's not really news, but it has 1 million people have seen that sailor be tossed off the side. And I keep making that joke till it makes sense. But the real story from today, the true true Hollywood UK story is Theresa May is the dancing queen. Theresa May is the dancing queen. I don't know what this means for the UK. I don't know what this means for any of us, even, really. Undertaker is fighting at WWE Super Showdown. You can check that out by going to Fowl Originals Weekly Wrestling Recap, where we talk about all the matches that are happening. He is teaming up with Kane. Theresa May is the dancing queen. Now, without, again, this is one of those stories where without kind of like talking about it, why don't we just show you about it? So this is, if I can find it, I've been told before, show don't tell. This is a video of the and this is from the BBC. Thank you very much, BBC, for providing this. I got a copyright notice earlier on from the Into the Spider-Verse thing, and I didn't even put in a copyright claim, like, to say that repeal, but they gave me the copyright back. They were like, I obviously used the trailer in a formative, fair use way. The system works, because I got copyright claimed on that video, and I remember being really sad about it. But let's have a look at this. So this is a video. Turn the audio off so I don't get copyright struck. Yes, Niaz, really. It's not going to be free to see on YouTube, Niaz, but we'll be watching it. So she attempted to dance to Dancing Queen. There she goes. There she goes. Look at her. Look at her. She's trying to dance. They're all so happy about it. Yeah, like, the thing is, I've got the theme going on, so it's Dancing Queen. So look, she tries. Let's just play it. She's just dancing along to the beat. Like, her legs are just moving to the beat. Look. Oh. Look, but there she does. She's trying to do the robot. She's trying to do the robot over here. Hello there, Leticia Wells. She tries to do the robot. Let's play it. Look at her. Look at her. That's her dance. That's her dance. That's not a dance. That's not a dance at all. Yeah, this is not what I would characterize a dance to be. A dance would have rhythm. A dance would have flair. A dance would not have Theresa May involved. And she did. She danced her way onto stage. And everybody clapped. So, okay. As the Dancing Queen played, and then she continued. Then she started doing this. Why was she doing that for? Why is she still dancing? Yeah. Why is this happening? Why did this bit happen? I can understand her going on. That was a bit cheeky. It's a bit, all right, you know, it's fine. I can make fun of myself. What was this? What the hell was this? Look at this. What's that all about? Very statesman-like. Very, very new statesman-like. Alan Bostard. Yeah, so then, what about this bit? And then she continues. This is the thing. I'm like, why are you still going? She comes back. She goes back. She does it again. Why is she doing it at 10? Yeah, and look. Oh my God. Why is she doing it again? And then she does the same dance in Africa. The exact same dance. She's like, oh, I will follow these school children. This will help me. The same dance. What dance is this? What actual dance is this? I don't understand. Shows off her bum a little bit. because she's like, they're black, they want to see my bum, I guess. I can do the funky chicken. She's doing the funky chicken. She's actually legitimately doing the funky chicken right there. Why? Yeah, why? And look, yeah, it's why is there enough footage for you to create a compilation of the times that she's danced? Yeah. So that's her dancing earlier on. Let's see what the hell people thought about this. Not the puff piece by the BBC News, but let's look at what was actually going on. So this is exactly it, Nia. This is some Illuminati stuff, man. This is politics, otherwise known as the new TV show, the new show, which is politics. Yeah. Hello there, little ish. How you doing? Welcome to Fowl Originals Newsround. Yes. So what Theresa May is the dancing queen. She comes out to Dancing Queen. Yeah. Like why? Anyway, let's zip back. So Theresa May is currently in Birmingham, which is where I'm from. So this is why it's even more funny. Like we're gonna tell you a story from yesterday, which. Oh, hey Joe, how you doing? How you enjoying the new Newsround? No, Theresa May has told the Conservatives they must be the party for everyone. Actually, let's fix that. Let's bring that down. I didn't realise it was so off screen for you guys. We'll fix that in a bit when I come back. But Theresa May has told the Conservatives they must be the party for everyone and said austerity was ending in her party conference speech in Birmingham. The Prime Minister said that a decade on from the financial crash, there are better days ahead, signalling an increase in public spending. She also defended her under-fire Brexit strategy, saying she was standing up for Britain, and she announced new borrowing powers for councils to build more homes. A cap on the amount councils can borrow to fund new developments. Niaz, we can go see her, man. We can go see her. Niaz, she announced new borrowing powers for councils to build new homes. A cap on the amount councils can borrow to fund new developments doesn't make sense and would be scrapped, she said. Other promises, including a step change in how cancer is diagnosed, with a strategy aimed at increasing early detection rates, plus another freeze in fuel duty. The Prime Minister, who's dancing in Kenya, made headlines in August, danced onto the sounds of ABBA, and immediately sought to make light of last year's difficult speech. Because remember, last year, things were falling down around her, literally. She joked that if she had a cough this time, it was only because she'd been up all night gluing the letters onto the backdrop. No, I wasn't one of them fighting in Dale End. We were going to talk about that, though. The Tory conference has been dominated by Brexit, with former Foreign Secretary Boris Johnson launching a French broadside against her Chequers plan. It is known by the country residents where it was agreed in July for trade with the EU. And as she prepared to deliver the speech, Conservative MP James Duddridge announced he had submitted a letter to the Backbench 1922 committee calling for a leadership contest. Ooh. In her speech, there was no mention of Chequers specifically, with Mrs. May describing her plan as a free trade deal that provides for frictionless trade in goods, like, you know, like being part of a European common market. You know, like what we were already in, like the thing that we didn't need to get out of. Defending it, she warned delegates that pursuing our own visions of the perfect Brexit could lead to no Brexit at all. Theresa is comedy gold, Niaz. That's what I mean. I love having Theresa May on the show. I'd love to have Theresa May on the show because it would be hilarious. On austerity, Mrs. May said people needed to know that the end is in sight. The Tories could not just clean up a mess. They should steer a course to a better future. Sound finances are essential, but they are not the limit of our ambition. Because you make sacrifices, there are better days ahead. Classic statesman. That's very statesman. Sound finances are essential. They are not the limit of our ambition. Because you made sacrifices, there are better days ahead. At next year's spending review, she said, debt as a share of the economy will continue to go down, support for public services will go up. Because a decade after the financial crash, people need to know that the austerity it led to is over and that their hard work has paid off. In her speech, Mrs. May said the Tories must be a party not for the few, not even for the many, but for everyone who is willing to work hard and do their best. Our best days lie ahead of us, she added, adding, don't let anyone tell you we don't have what it takes. Britain for the British! She didn't say that bit. She also condemned the personal abuse of politicians, speaking up for Labour's Diane Abbott and calling for an end to the bitterness and bile which is poisoning our politics. Mrs May made repeated attacks on Labour leader Jeremy Corbyn's politics, criticising his opposition to military action and claiming he would raise taxes higher and higher. But the Tories needed to do more than criticise Labour, she said, vowing to make markets work in the interest of ordinary people again. The party whips were out in force today, weren't they? Delegates cheer as Boris Johnson urges them to chuck chuckers. What are the big issues? She said she wanted to help people on low incomes, ruling out any increase in fuel duty in the budget. So basically she came on dancing because she had nothing to say, which is basically what I would say is the real legacy of Theresa May's leadership of the Conservative Party and of her prime ministership of the country, is that it's not something that she'd be able to fix in the way that a Conservative Party probably would. Thank you very much, your followers, Niaz. But it also was just weird. And my personal thing is, obviously, Theresa May is Theresa May. She is the dancing queen. I understand this. But I don't get what... A leadership challenge would make a lot of sense now. Like, I personally, if I was voting, I wouldn't vote for Theresa May. And that's not because she's a woman. That's... And it is, yeah. I don't... This is one of those stories where she has literally... Thank you for inviting your followers as well, other person. I don't understand why Theresa May needs to be in charge anymore. Like, I feel like, and it's going to be an unpopular opinion, but I think Boris Johnson would be a really good prime minister. Like, in the sense of a... Like, in the kind of Donald Trump, like, he wouldn't do anything too stupid because he's not that stupid, but maybe he will. And that's what I would love. Like, politics is theatre. Politics is not necessarily the... That's it. Politics is theatre. Like, I think I'm just going to leave it at that. Politics is theatre. And this is... Hello again. This is one of the worst actresses of all time. Yeah. Her turn on the stage is coming to an end. That's kind of what I see from it. And yeah, Boris Johnson, whoever takes leadership of the Conservative Party is... I mean, I'm not saying it in a kind of like... I don't even vote anyway, so I'm not like... Boris Johnson would be a very, very good transitional prime minister until the Labour Party, thank you for it, until the Labour Party figure out... sorry, the Labour Party figure out a way to get into power, because I think it would have to be a general election. Within the Conservative Party, they would have to figure out someone new, someone who could take charge and would figure out what's going on. It could be another woman. I don't know many politicians that will be able to do it. Rees, Margot Gove will come in. Boris will be smeared in the run-up to the election. Yeah, I'd see that. I see that, Brian Walsh. Yeah, I think Gove, actually. I think Gove. But Rees Mogg, like, because he's had, like... And she started talking about not, like assaulting and personal attacks on people. What's these sunglasses? Part of the show, Joe. Part of the show. Fowl original on the Newsround. Wears sunglasses because the future is bright. But on that note, let's quickly give you another show moment. Prince William can be Prime Minister. I'd love to see Prince Harry and Meghan Markle be the power couple, yeah? Like, Prince Harry would be the better one to go for it, wouldn't he? Because, I mean... Prince William, I don't think he'd want to be an elected member of the... Could he even be? Would that be mixing between constitutional powers and political powers? I don't know. Is there a lawyer out there? Someone help me. Or someone that, like, doctored in Jeremy Corbyn, Prime Minister. Jeremy Corbyn, the only thing about Jeremy Corbyn is I don't think people see him as the Prime Minister, and it's all about perception. And I don't think people see Jeremy Corbyn as a guy who can do stuff. And so I don't think they would vote. And this is me generally. I mean, the votership after Brexit is now the younger generation who, after 2 years, who are like 16, 17, going, yeah, man, you should vote at it. Like, vote for stay, vote for remain. Like, they can actually vote. That is a revolution, isn't it, Brian? I don't know what's happened yet, but we've talked about revolution. It's not revolution, is that the Conservative Party right now, and this is just editorial, the Conservative Party right now, in my opinion, is there's a lot of troubles in that party. They need a scapegoat. Theresa May is the perfect scapegoat who will dance her way to the slaughter. Dance her way to the slaughter. And Jeremy Corbyn isn't seen as prime ministerial material. Not yet, anyway. Not yet. Like, no, I think if Jeremy Corbyn had a war to fight, then yeah, he would have been fine. But he's a really laid back guy, and people might be look at him like, but you need someone like bullish and tough, the Theresa May of the world, to go up against, like, because also it's amazing because if you have Theresa May as a female prime minister against Donald Trump as the president of the United States, then it's a bit like nothing can ever be like, he can never make fun of her because people will be like, yeah, but she's a woman though, innit? Like, don't do that. But if it was a man, I vote out. I voted Remain a long time ago, but anyway, it's a lot of random talk that will get me treasoned out of the country. But in my opinion, Theresa May is the dancing queen. And is she dancing her way out of the prime ministership? She's been a decent enough prime minister, I would feel, and it would be a shame if she did, but I could see Boris Johnson or probably Rees-Mogg. And that's the thing, yeah. I don't think Boris Johnson would get smeared on the way out. Like, that's the thing. I think that he's smear-proof. I think that he's like a Trump. Like, he is our Trump, yeah. He's smear-proof. People would not care as long as, like, people would vote for him because it'd be like, oh, is that the funny guy? It would literally be, oh, is that the funny guy that had sex with a dwarf? Allegedly. Not proven. Not even alleged. But, you know, like, they would just be like, that's fine. We can see him doing it. Like, David Cameron, like the pig situation, they're a bit like, I could see that. But if that was Boris Johnson, no one would have cared. They would be like, oh, he did it for a laugh. He obviously just ran around the party with the pig on his genitals. Allegedly, not even alleged, yeah. No, I'm just making a joke, yeah. No legal action, please, yeah. No, necessary. So yes, Monday. So let us talk about that actually, because, and let's move to our next segment, which is in other news. Now, a big thing happened in Birmingham this week. Now I've got the Metro, but I don't think it's in the Metro. I was told about it at work today, so forget the Metro. We've got the Metro Most in it, but I'm going to finish on this story just for this segment of the show. In Birmingham, where I don't live, there was a really big there was a really big, I know there's some CCTV footage somewhere. Here we go. So this is from the Birmingham Mail. So I wanted to show you this first of all, which gives you an idea of what was going on. So let's just, if you can get it to play. There was ads happening, you know, memento, folks. Because this is the, okay. So I wanted to show you guys this video. So this is CCTV footage of what happened on Monday. So I'm just going to show you this first. So this is numbered footage. I'll take you back to the beginning actually. And they've singled out specific people. As you can see, 1, 2, and just look at it. Look at the violence. Well, the violence that we're going to talk about in a second. There's the bus stop. There's people there as well. Scooby-Doo 2012, and there's an Asian fellow, another suspect, and other stuff. I mean, if you were there, that's pretty hardcore, mate. There's another person, and then there's another person there, an Asian fellow. And this is CCTV footage released by, this is from the Birmingham Mail, this CCTV footage released from the police, with like enhance, and they've kind of enhanced all that they can from the images that they got. And then we'll talk about it. And then there's another individual who is of very big importance to all of this. But as you can see, a lot of people there. I wanted to show you that first. because that kind of takes us into what the story is. But it's wanted CCTV of 20 suspects after 3 teenagers stabbed in Birmingham city centre. City centre horror as gangs of youths fight in Dale End, leaving 3 injured. Only the fact that only 3 were injured is amazing. But detectives investigating a triple stabbing in Dale End have released CCTV images of 20 suspects they want to urgently question. 20 suspects. Horror scenes took place on the high street near McDonald's when the youths clashed just before 5:45 p.m. on Tuesday. Just yesterday. 2 teenagers aged 18 and 19 suffered knife injuries to the arm and leg, respectively, and a 17-year-old had stab wounds to the chest. All 3 have now been discharged from hospital, having received treatment. But West Midlands police have launched a major investigation to find the attackers, some of them believed to be school kids. After trawling through CCTV, officers identified a total of 22 people, all believed to be in their mid to late teens that they want to speak to. Detective Inspector Greg Evans said, "What happened was totally unacceptable. A large-scale fight involving upwards of 20 people in the city centre in broad daylight." And there's more footage that I'd like to show you. Obviously, this may be quite disturbing. I'm not going to put the sound on because it's very disturbing. But let's pop this on as well. Turn this off here, but just look at it. Somebody goes down and everyone starts to beat on them. Absolutely freaking crazy. Absolutely insane. We know at least one offender was armed with a knife and believe that belts and a metal bar were also brandished as weapons. We have released a batch of CCTV images, some of which clearly show people we want to speak to. What I'd say is to these individuals is that we'll find you, so do the right thing so you can contact us so you can give us your version of events. Detectives investigating a serious disorder that broke out between teenagers in Dale End yesterday. And D. Evans said, if anyone recognises their faces, contact us on Crime Stoppers. There's about 60 of them exactly. Our investigation is progressing at pace and I'd like to thank people who've come forward. Apparently, reports of up to 100 people, Brian. He added, if anyone has photos of the disorder, let us know. Now, I wanted to quickly talk about this story because I know that area. So I'm from Birmingham. Fowl original. How you doing? And the one thing that Fowl Original has... Hello there, Rummy. The one thing that Fowl Original is lucky to have known is that I used to go to Subculture, which was like a rock club down at Dale End. There's a Toys R Us there before Toys R Us went out of business. Toys R Us coming back as well. That was going to be a story that I was going to pop into in other news in a second. But also, because of that, like I know that little area, and it's quite dodgy, yeah. Like it always has been a bit dodgy. Like when I was a rocker, yeah, like it was fine. I was one of the dodgy ones, but then it's slowly become dodgy and dodgier. There's an area down in Millennium Point which has just had the HS2 like building work that has just started, and that is all kind of, yeah, exactly, yeah, that kind of just all that area was full of kids. It's full of kids after school that will go to college or whatever down there, go to Matthew Bolton College or potentially a few of the other colleges around there, and just hang around in town. They'd hang around all there. But whenever the Conservative Party conference happens, or one of those big political conferences happens in Birmingham, like all that area was swept by the police. So all that happens, they all moved outside of a chicken shop, which is down in that area. Obviously something happened. We don't know what that thing was, which led to gangs beating the crap out of people that were targeted. Beating the crap out of people targeted. It's always going to have happened, but I guess it happening while the Conservative Party are here and talks about police cuts and stuff. That's the big issue that people have been speaking about, yeah. And that's something that I wanted to quickly talk about with this article, is that there have been police cuts and a lot of people are thinking that this is crazy. It's like a powder keg waiting to explode, and it was going to happen at some point. But the fact that it has happened is a bit crazy. I personally don't know what is going to happen in town now, if it's going to become more of a police state, if we're going to start getting, because there were knives there, people had knives and stuff. One thing I used to say about Birmingham is that, like, at least we ain't got stabbings. Like, now we're getting stabbings. It's a bit, I don't know how to feel about it, really. In an honest sense, I don't know how to feel about it, because I'm kind of concerned for this city, my city. I'm concerned, but maybe it was just a one-off. But obviously, we know that people around there were carrying like I have to get on a bus that's around that area. I know how dodgy it is. I don't like to get like sometimes to get out of town or get into town. I'm getting a bus roughly in that area because it's just quicker because near McDonald's and stuff. And it's like, I don't like walking down that bit. It's like, it has a reputation. It always has. But yeah, panic on the streets of London. Panic on the streets of Birmingham. In other news, more light news, it's a wonderful place. We're on our way there. Toys in the millions, all under one roof. It's called Toys R Us. Bouncing back. Toys R Us lenders cancel bankruptcy auction and plan to revive and expand the brand. Which is what I like to say, yeah. Great news! Wonderful! I'm so happy. Funny Theresa is there to dance for them. That would have sorted it out. You're totally right for us. I am so happy that Toys R Us are back, yeah. Like, it has solved everything else that's going on. Like, if you want to also help another failing brand, which could use a little bit of a cash injection from people out there to help support it, is go to fowloriginal.com. If you go to fowloriginal.com, you can see all these different things. One of them is my big old bird face. You can click support the channel. You can obviously like, share, and subscribe if you can't help financially. That's totally up to you. But you can also become a Patreon. Go to streamlabs.com/wrestling. You can also donate to the channel. You can do that. The easiest way is via PayPal. And if you pop in, say $5 if you'd like, you can make it a monthly donation to help me support the channel on the regs. You can also do that on the one-off and say, hey, my name is, etc. Thank you very much for the one-off donation. But yeah, back to Toys R Us. Yeah, wow. Like, let's close that thing and then Toys R Us. So Toys R Us is coming back. Yeah, Toys R Us is coming back. Court filings in the US show a last-minute sell-off of the brand and its logos, including Jeffrey the Giraffe, was called off at the last minute. Toys R Us could be saved after its top lenders cancelled a planned sell-off of the brand on Monday. Court filings show that an auction of intellectual property attached to the bankrupt retailer was called off at the last minute. The move in the US may see the beloved chain brought back to life in the States, initially before a revival abroad, potentially including the UK. Its debtors want to kickstart the brand into opening new shops just months after it went into administration. The lenders also plan to expand its international presence and further develop its private brand businesses. Toys R Us filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection in the US in September last year. The retailer's 106 UK stores began closing, 106 stores began closing in March this year. And chairman and CEO of Toys R Us, Dave R. Brandon. But the company changed course in March, saying it would sell its operations in Canada, Asia, and Europe and shut down in the US. I know that was sarcasm. Thanks for it. Exactly. Just in time for Christmas. But the company changed course in March, saying it would sell its operations in Canada. In its 106 UK stores began closing down in March, leaving at least 3,000 staff out of work. Up to 40% was slashed off prices in its closing down sale on all stores in an attempt to shift stock. And that's it. So Toys R Us are coming back. They're coming back. I mean, people obviously realised that they had such a big brand presence and such a big thing that I'm guessing Amazon will just brand Toys R Us stuff. But yes, just in time for Christmas. Very, very, very good. Obviously, do as much as they can at Christmas. Just do a big Christmas campaign. Like, I always think it's interesting when a company like goes into bankruptcy and then people start selling stuff off and it's like, okay, cool. We can't afford to do what we're doing anymore. Can we get like a redo, please, banks? We just get like a redo. Like, we'll start again, and then other people that are normally them as well come in and go, okay, we'll buy up the company again and do new things. Like, I love that businesses can do that. It's so very American. So very American. But that's all from in other news. Actually, then we had a few more stories that I wanted to talk about. Yeah, actually, last story. Stockport woman finds snake in oven. An elderly woman had the shock of her life when she found a 3-foot snake in her oven. The 82-year-old said she wondered if her eyes were deceiving her when she first saw the African brown snake. She thought to be an escaped pet. The reptile then disappeared before turning up in the oven again 2 days later. The home in Stockport. An African brown 3-foot snake was found in a woman's oven. The woman, who's preparing to cook some chips, said, "When I opened the oven door and saw it, I got the shock of my life. I recently had a cataract operation and was wondering if my eyes were deceiving me, but my husband saw it too." The woman, who preferred not to be named, added, "I gave the RSPCA inspector a big hug and cup of tea afterwards, but I went off the idea of oven chips and sent my husband to the fish and chip shop instead." Inspector Andy Harris said the species was not venomous and the serpent was likely to have escaped or been abandoned. He said, "I managed to coax the snake from the oven. It must have squeezed through a wall cavity, and there was a hole at the back of the oven, so it was probably attracted by the warmth. It was lucky the couple didn't preheat the oven first." African brown snakes are frequently found in homes in Africa and eat rodents, small lizards, and birds. Well, of course, African brown snakes are frequently found in homes in Africa because they're from Africa. Stolen from Africa, found in an oven chip. Oh, great stuff. But that will take us nicely into one of our regular segments, which is Metro Moments. And the one thing about the Metro today is that it was obviously behind all the other news, so we didn't get any like dancing talk in here, like no dancing queen talk. Instead, we don't need EU, said PM, where Boris Johnson was talking about Brexit and stuff, and Boris talked about checkers and stuff like that. Like the one thing about like, but we had an interview with Johnny Depp in GQ in November, talking about how his life was wrecked, went from Cinderella to Quasimodo after he did stupid things like being drunk and trying to beat up his wife. Allegedly. Actually, not allegedly, confirmed, isn't it? We've also got, this, which is a continuation from yesterday's talk about, Monday's talk about the lady who had sex with one of her students. Pupil denies infatuation led to plain sex fantasy. Because the court case is still ongoing, so we're still getting juicy little sexy details. This is a much better picture of her as well. She is still someone in the wrong, but as they would say in South Park, nice. A teenager has denied he was in. I don't know what I read of it. A teenager was denied he was infatuated with a teacher, which he claims to have had sex with in a public toilet, a plain toilet. Insisting the claim was not a fantasy, he told the court he was 16 when he had sex with science teacher Eleanor Wilson as they returned from a school trip, and they carried on seeing each other afterwards. A bond developed between him and Wilson, pictured, now 29. On the trip to Africa, and she gave him her mobile number, which he saved as Smurfette. He told Bristol Crown Court. It is alleged Wilson and the boy began kissing at the rear of the plane in 2015 before she beckoned him to the toilets, where they had sex. Anna Midgley, defending, suggested to the boy the flight would have been busy and what he claims happened did not take place. When you came out of the toilet, you were close enough together, making the risk that other staff and pupils and cabin staff could have seen you together, she said. Ms. Midgley also suggested other allegations of kissing, cuddling and holding hands said to have occurred in the boy's bedroom and at Tintern Abbey and the Ashton Court estate did not happen. She asked if he had become infatuated with her, but she never approached you physically or sexually. Ms. Midgley said you had boasted to your friends and that led to rumours starting and someone started to blackmail her. Your parents started to question you and the school started to question you. Hello there, Rick James official. How you doing? And the school started questioning you. At that point, you couldn't say none of this was true, it didn't happen, and you had sex on a plane because that's what you told people. The boy who gave evidence behind the screen replied, that is incorrect. Wilson of Dursley, Gloucestershire denies 4 charges of sexual activity with a child by a person in a position of trust. The trial continues. So allegedly, this woman did not have sexual relations with that boy. Now we don't know. There's still more. We can't cast judgment. This is a stupid story, yeah. Read about this story, actually, because this story automatically gained my attention later on when I was talking about it. But it's clapped out. Students are banning clapping in a school. Metro, why are you doing this to me? Students invoke for ban on applause. Clapping has been banned by a student union over fears it could trigger anxiety, and jazz hands will be used instead. This is offensive and could trigger people. This is actually insensitive and comes from a place of really, 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 really derogatory like startings and terms. This, though, is better than this. Cool society. Like, I don't know what's happened, but apparently this is less offensive than this. Al Jolson, a man dressed up in blackface, is less offensive and triggering than this. Congratulations, society. Congratulations. Clapping has been banned by student union over fears it could trigger anxiety, and jazz hands will be used instead. Manchester Students' Union made the change after it argued the loud noise from traditional applause at union events could pose sensory issues, and British Sign Language clapping or jazz hands would be more inclusive. Liberation and Access Officer Sarah Khan wrote the motion, which received little opposition. Well, of course it's going to receive. It's like, do you want to feed all these kids? No. Oh, hate kids. No, I just don't have enough money to feed all. Because you're more important than the kids. Cool, I'll give you £5. Oh, only 5. How about 10? It's 10 kids. Can't afford to buy each of them a chicken and chips. Well, no, because like, what? Oh, okay, that's this. Yeah, like of course it received a notion. Everyone around the room went like, "Are they going to do it? Are they going to do it?" If I was in the student union, I would have brought that kind of motion forward to see if it would have been adopted. Would have been like, I bet no one's going to vote for this. I bet they're just gonna. All right, cool. Can we like instead of clapping, can we just slap each other in the face? Is that all right? No, Fowl. We've told you before. Okay, what about this one? What if we use jazz hands instead of clapping to stop people with sensory overload issues? You know what? We're going to give you this one. We're going to actually give you this one. Yeah. All in favour? Aye. Thank you. They fell for it. But that's what my like interpretation of that meeting was. But yeah. The National Union of Students, which has been encouraging sign language clapping since 2015. Why? Student unions strive to make their events welcoming to all of the students by acknowledging their experiences and responding to their needs. However, the decision was met with ridicule on social media. One Twitter user who said they suffer from anxiety called it ridiculous, adding, "You're just catering to the illness instead of helping people to get over it." Hear, hear. Hear, hear. Hear, hear. Another added, "How is this accessible to blind students?" I love it. I love it. At least there is some sanity still left in the world. Britain's losing its mind. Piers Morgan tweeted, "Britain's losing its mind. Manchester Students' Union was contacted for comment. They probably said something, but you couldn't see it because they did it by semaphore to make it more accessible to seamen." And what else? Driver. No, I'm not going to read that one. To be honest, I didn't find much in the Metro today of any real like, because the Metro today was. I was running about doing other stuff, and this is a good one actually. So Kanye. Obviously Kanye. I don't even need to say West. I can say Kanye. Do you know Kanye? Rapper feels like a god as he clarifies outbursts on slavery. And Kanye West has stopped taking antidepressant medications. He is a lyrical genius. And it's making him feel like a god. Before now, he was the voice for a generation, and now he is the almighty. Days after he sparked fury with a pro-Donald Trump rant on US TV show Saturday Night Live, the rapper dished up more thought-provoking offerings. In a new interview, the hip-hop star 41 was also described himself as an alien, was blasted by a wave of celebs when he wore one of Trump's Make America Great caps and called for the 13th Amendment, which outlaws slavery in his homeland, to be abolished in a tweet at the weekend. But hitting back critics, he said, now the alien, Yi, is finally back in mode, off of medication, working out, breathing as much fresh air as possible, thinking, doing, being himself. When I say I'm being myself, that doesn't mean I'm being Donald Trump. It means I'm being me, and I'm punk, and I can wear what I want because I'm a god. Oh, I should have put that into a rap to start with. Let's start again. When I say I'm being myself, that doesn't mean I'm being Donald Trump. It means I'm being me, and I'm punk, and I can wear whatever I want because I'm a god. Kanye, 2018. The superstar, who was hospitalized for mental exhaustion in 2016, firing a lot of cylinders, it's hard being Kanye, says he now has all the treatment he needs in the studio. Probably cocaine. No, allegedly. These 5 albums I dropped earlier were like superhero rehabilitation, he claimed. And he's not done yet, because he's off on a new musical adventure revealing we have to go to what is known as Africa. He told TMC, I just need to go and find out what it's really called and grab the soil and cook 5 meals a day so the metabolism stays up, and have my kids in the studio and have a mic in the open so you can hear nature while we're recording. We're going to bring out the album on Black Friday on November 23rd, and I'm just so happy about what is happening, he added. Yeah. As for his controversial views on slavery, he U-turned slightly, insisting abolish was the wrong language. I misspoke when I said abolish. Amend is the right language. I when I read it the first time, I'm sorry, it made me laugh. And what's so beautiful about our constitution is that we can amend it, right? Don't abolish it, just change it. Okay, slavery is not good unless, like, when you put an unless on it, like that's not good. It's not good. Now, that's all from the Metro today, actually, because we're running a little bit low on time, and I'm overran on the wrestling show as well. But I wanted to briefly talk about tomorrow. So tomorrow, in Fowl Originals, 1 second. In this show, in a Fowl Originals film corner, we'll be talking about Venom, because I'm going to see Venom tomorrow. Now, I have been trying to see none of the reviews or anything for it, but they have not been good. The embargo was lifted. So I'm just checking to see how much. The embargo was lifted yesterday on release day, or today, and they have not been good. A lot of people have called it lazy, sloppy, really bad, and apparently Tom Hardy's come out and said that he was a bit drunk. But what I'm going to do is I'm not going to read any of those stories. I'm going to keep my mind open and go into that film with no real misconceptions or preconceptions about it. I'm going to go into it thinking it's going to be a fun film. It's going to be hard because the film, I'm going to be watching it at the cinema. The cinema I'm going to be watching at is, they get very much. They're not going to be showing it until 7. So I'm going to need to hang around like an idiot for an hour or so until I can see the film. It's not going to be, and then I'm going to pay extra for it because my unlimited card doesn't cover that particular kind of film. It's all going to be very annoying to me. But for the good of science, I will see it. And tomorrow we will have Fowl Originals Film Corner, where I will talk to you about the film, and we'll give it a thumbs up, we'll give it a thumbs down, and maybe this will be the first film that I watch that gets a thumbs down, because I've been slightly surprised by everything else, and I don't want to, and I'll have to find the logo for it. But tomorrow we'll be seeing Venom. You look like a turd. Even the trailer, I don't like it. I already have the preconception I have about this film is that it's going to be terrible, and I don't want that to be confirmed. I want to go out of it and it be like, oh, you know what? Yeah, you were all wrong. It's a good film, yeah, on reflection. But we're gonna get hot take tomorrow after I've finished seeing it, and I might have to move the show to 11 o'clock to be able to even get back in time because of stupid buses. But we'll see what happens tomorrow. I'll let you all know what time. It'll be either 10:30 normal start or 10:45. And depending on how bad it is, might be starting with... No, we'll put film in normal. But tomorrow we're back with Newsround. If we can switch back round. So that'll be the film section. But today's top story was this morning weather map mishap on the 30th anniversary. That was today's really big top story, and obviously we had another story which was this story as well. Not that story actually, not that story at all. It was this story, which is Theresa May is the Dancing Queen. And in honour of Theresa May is the Dancing Queen, today, now we normally end the show with something which is so obviously going to get me copyright struck that I just do it anyway. But tonight, in the interests of changing this up a little bit, yeah, I'm also going to be producing some new content that I'm writing at the moment that you might have seen on my Instagram. If you want to help support the channel, you can also, before I put on this, which you guys are it's gonna blow your mind a little bit. If you want to help support the channel, you can number one, you can help. You can like, share, subscribe this. If you're watching this on Twitch, thank you very much. Welcome to the dance. I think I put it in the correct category now for Twitch, is just chatting. Yeah, they killed Flog It. God damn it, they killed Flog It. Yes, they killed it. They killed it in it. I wanted to show you this, which is obviously you can help support the channel by going to fowloriginal.com. If you go to fowloriginal.com, you see my big old bird face, and you can go and click support the channel. If you click support the channel, you come to Patreon, go to streamlabs.com/fowloriginalwrestling. You can also donate. If you click donate, it will take you through to PayPal to be able to donate to me on a one-off donation. You could go give me $100. Well, okay, let's not go crazy. You can give me $10, $20, or you could do that on a monthly donation if you'd like to. All that money goes directly to the Fowl Original show. If you do it on a monthly donation, it will help support the channel on a monthly basis. That's to help produce stuff to go over all the shows. That's Fowl Originals Wrestling, Fowl Originals Newsround, the occasional acoustic corner, all the random weird stuff that I'm doing on Instagram, and everything else in between. But Theresa May is the Dancing Queen. If you'd like to like, share, subscribe to this video as well, that'd be awesome. Tell people that this is happening, and if you want me to know anything about Venom, obviously also follow my Twitter if you're a wrestling fan, because I do loads of wrestling stuff. I also make jokes about other things. It's not just wrestling. I make just general funnies. I'd also like to, as I say, big shout out, big thank you to World of Sport Wrestling. You'll follow me. Why are you following me? I love it. I love you. It's amazing. Let's show you what I was going to end on today, which is pretty weird. Yeah, pretty weird. I don't even want to describe it, but I'll put it on and then I'll bring down the volume a little bit because it will be ever so weird. And then I will talk you guys out. So this is from, actually, let's give it a proper introduction. This has been made by Chris Malanin from Vaporwave. And I wanted to make sure I shouted that guy out because it's an amazing video as well. This is a little bit of Vaporwave in honor of Theresa May. Enjoy this. So, this has been a Fowl Original. Let's bring it down a little bit more. This has been a Fowl Original. Thanks for watching. Think of me as your dancing queen. For I am your ABBA, I am your Theresa May. This has been a Fowl Original. Thanks for watching. See you next time, and join me tomorrow at potentially 10:30 PM. Keep an eye on Twitter. And this has been Fowl Original. Thanks for watching. See you next time, and have a great rest of your day. Maybe watch this week or something. That's always fun. Bye bye.